Welcome back to Box Talk. Rated commentator here. Today we're going to be talking about Canelo possibly retiring in the near future. And this was actually just spoken about a couple of days ago. Ring Magazine reported it. We're just going to break that down real quick. If you like this kind of content, drop a comment down below what you would like to see next. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button for more content like this, and hit the bell icon for more Box Talk videos coming to you in the future. So without further ado, let's jump straight into this video. Now, Canelo Alvarez, he has been in the boxing game for a very long time. He has boxed the best of the best. And with Canelo's prime basically being well and done over with, he has shown signs of slowing down. The William Skull fight that just happened recently, he showed a little bit of signs of slowing down. And, that's not to disrespect or disregard Canelo's resume, but he has shown signs of slowing down. And with the choice of people he chose to fight against in the past 5 fights, it has been shown that he's picking not necessarily easier fights, but they're not going to be to the caliber of like Billy Joe Saunders or Floyd Mayweather, if we're going to go back that far. But basically, Canelo is pretty much finishing up his career as we speak. So the Terrence Crawford fight that's coming up is kind of going to be one of the swan songs of his last fights. I don't think he's going to fight David Benavidez. That's going to be a bit of too much of a skill gap from not only the weight disparity from Canelo and David Benavidez, but also the freshness. David Benavidez is much younger, and Canelo, yes, yet more experienced. He is showing signs of slowing down. So with that being said, is Canelo really going to be here much longer in the boxing scene? I'm going to say maybe. He says he wants to retire around 37. He says he's still fresh. He still has time in the boxing world and the fight scene. There's not really too many people he needs to fight to prove his legacy. He doesn't really necessarily need to fight much longer. And I see he's learning a lot of English. I think just like Manny Pacquiao, I think he needs to stay in the boxing scene and, try to develop his skills as maybe a commentator or somebody who, is still involved in the game. Maybe a coach. I think he would be a phenomenal coach. I think people he has trained, like Jaime Munguia or Ryan Garcia, he shows that he cares a lot about the sport, but he also I feel like he has that skill to be a coach, to coach a lot of these up-and-coming boxers, these well-established pro boxers, to be world champions. So we shall see how that goes in the future. I think Canelo Alvarez is going to be leaving the scene very soon in terms of professional boxing. I think he has a couple of years left. Of course, he says it himself. He says he's fresh. He says he's ready to go. But after this Terrence Crawford fight, which I don't know how that's even going to go, because Terrence Crawford's coming up in weight. We think that Canelo could stomp him, but also at the same time, we just saw the Chris Eubank and Conor Benn fight where Conor Benn went up 2 weight classes to fight Chris Eubank and still made it all 12 rounds with a battle. You never know what's going to happen. Terrence Crawford has the skills. Yeah, he's older. I get it. Terrence Crawford has the skills. He has all the tools underneath his belt to beat Canelo Alvarez. But you could say the same for Canelo. Canelo has all the tools underneath his tool belt to beat Terrence Crawford as well. It's starting to seem more like an even matchup now than it was prior a couple of years ago. In Canelo's prime, he would have destroyed Terrence Crawford 100%. Retirement may be his best option. Eventually, it will come to a point where Canelo Alvarez will be a retired boxer. It's so weird to say that because he's been boxing for like 20 years, or at least close to. In the professional ranks, he's been close to it because he started professionally boxing when he was like 16, and he has shown no signs of slowing down. He's very active, a very active fighter, and he has like 70 professional bouts or something like that. He's one of the greats, one of the best Mexican boxers of all time. But with this last performance against William Skull, I don't think it was primarily his fault. I think he could have stood in the pocket and, went 12 rounds with him, but, it just showed signs of slowing down. Him against Edgar Berlanga, you could see the style that he's really choosing is going to be more reserved, more counterpunching and stuff. Same for the Munguia fight as well. He's not going to be much on the attack much more often like he was in his prime. With that being said, is Canelo going to be good after the Terrence Crawford fight? I personally think he doesn't need to fight anybody else after this, unless it's a Terrence Crawford trilogy. That could happen if one loses and then the next one, sequel happens, the other person wins and then a trilogy happens, or whatever happens. I think that the next best option for Canelo is to finish off the last couple of fights, Terrence Crawford and whoever else. I don't think he should fight anybody with a higher skill than Terrence Crawford, and just retire. He's done everything he needs to. He's proved everything he needed to in the sport. The only thing he didn't prove was beating Floyd Mayweather, of course, and Dimitri Bivol. Dimitri Bivol is also another thing. He wants to fight Dimitri Bivol. He spoke about it so many times. He wants to go back up to light heavyweight to beat him because he thinks he could beat him. In my opinion, I don't think it's a good idea. I think Dimitri Bivol is too big for him. Dimitri Bivol's style is it's the complete opposite of Canelo Alvarez's style. And Dimitri knows Canelo's rhythm. He can beat his rhythm, and that's just too hard to beat. So unless Canelo switches up his style, there's no reason for him to fight Dimitri Bivol again. Is Canelo retiring anytime soon? I don't think so. He is definitely thinking about it. It's in the question. He's in his 30s now, so Canelo will be walking out of the boxing scene eventually. If you like this style of content, please drop a comment down below what you would like to see next. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and the bell icon for more BoxTalk content. The notifications will let you know when I post, so hit that bell icon. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.